Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is RJ, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear and listening into another video from me. And I just wanted to say, first off, that I'm going to be going back to my regular uploads next week. So you'll get connectivity, 3DS game ideas, pitch for Switch, a gamer's memory, and why you know game. All of that will come back next week. I've still been making videos, but it's just I've been more or less talking about things that have been going on and stuff I've been seeing as of late. And it's just because I just needed a break from the other stuff, and especially with all the information coming up about the Switch, I kind of wanted to just take a break on that before before I really got heavy into getting back into well, because I really wanted to learn more about the Switch before I got back into those videos. So I have a much better idea of what can be created now using the Switch and its capabilities. So that was one reason why I took that break. Um, but game predictions, games that I predicted, well, not necessarily predicted, games that I talked about that would have been good to be made and be made for the Switch. Because one was a game that I said would be good for the Wii U, and that is Fire Emblem Warriors, which my video for that I think I put out. I'm looking at my computer right now. Oh, I put that out on October 17th of 2015. So I'm quite happy that that's happening, and yeah, it's happening for the Switch. It didn't happen for the Wii U, but it's happening for the Switch, and tons of people like hit me up on YouTube. Oh, well, maybe not tons of people, but I got a bunch of comments on YouTube right after that announcement was made on that video, and I was like, well, shit. I'm glad that they're doing it. Um, Two other games that I said would be good for a Nintendo platform, and these were two pitch for Switch videos. Was one was Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and that was December 22nd. Was it, like literally less than a month ago that I said that, and then they showed that in the list of games that's coming that they have so far during the presentation. And then I also put out a video for Shovel Knight for the for the Switch, and that literally was December 31st, and they made the announcement like on January 11th, and I was like 11 less than 2 weeks, and Yacht Club made that announcement. I was like, yes, I'm on the ball. So those three games I had already talked about them being well. Fire Emblem Warriors, I said was a good game to be should have been made, and Shovel Knight and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, I said it should have come to the Switch. It just, especially with Shovel Knight with the new Spectre Knight DLC that's coming, it just makes sense that they would put it on the Switch, like because it's around the same time. So like that just made a whole lot of sense to me. And Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is like it makes sense for them to put it on this because there's a lot of possibilities. I mean, now we do know that there's no Street Pass, which is unfortunate because that would have been if Nintendo had given the Switch that functionality, that would have been a great exclusive thing for the Switch's version of Xenoverse 2, where you pass by other people and like say you if you were to pass by a person and your Switch is briefly connected and you both have Dragon Ball Xenoverse game data on your Switches or like sitting there for you to play, like with extra data, basically like what the 3DS does, and you pass by each other, then they could have like a little tournament bracket thing, or like maybe not a tournament bracket, but like a gauntlet type thing where you could face all of that person's time controllers, and like the game would scale it so that you would face them at even footing with yourself. And I think that would have been awesome if they would have put Street Pass in there, but they didn't. So that's not a possibility. Um, but a few things that I did say that I think would happen, and some of these were quite obvious, like motion controls. Yes, that happened. Much better than what I was thinking. Uh, anyway, Pro Controller has gyro in it, which is something else I figured that they would do, because I figured it was just when they were looking at the Splatoon, the way it was supposed to be played while they were doing the reveal trailer. On the reveal trailer, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't think they would want to just throw everybody under the bus like that and take a take away gyro, especially and then relegate you to use the Pro Controller and not have it. Nah, I didn't think they would do that. So I'm glad that they didn't. Um, I said I figured that the consoles would get multiple colors, so I was kind of half right. The Joy Cons are getting multiple colors, but you would think that they would put out like different bases. I mean, different docks with colors and allow you to change out faceplates, but they're not doing that. Um, we have no word as to whether or not they'll be doing anything with like themes or nothing, anything in that nature. So I'm not even going to claim that's not a possibility, but it could happen. I just don't know if it will happen. Um, there were a few other things I had. It's just because I'm not looking at my video right now, and I don't want to sit back. I have my damn list. Why don't I just open that up instead of being a dummy? I have a list with all this shit in it, and I'm sitting here acting stupid. Get this up. Say, because I remember mostly what they said. Um, oh, Virtual Console will have online, at least for NES and SNES games, which I was so looking forward to that, and I'm glad that there's something that they're doing. Um, they haven't really talked about the OS or much about my Nintendo, so I can't really say anything about those. Uh, I was right that Splatoon was a new game, but I was wrong about Mario Kart being a new game. Mario Kart is an enhanced port. The Amiibo, there's Amiibo integration, but there isn't. They haven't announced anything about a game centered around Amiibo, so I was half right about that. And again, that was something that was super obvious. Uh, I said specialized Joy Cons to be switched out for the stock ones. They haven't really said anything about that. YouTube gaming and/or Twitch streaming and direct to YouTube uploads through YouTube app. That was something else. They said that there would be video recording capabilities or video streaming capabilities, but they haven't really gone into detail. So that there's an inkling of that there, but I can't really say, yeah, I'm wholly right on that. It's there. Um, Joy-Cons work very much like the Wii remote and nunchuck for a single player. Yeah, obviously that one is again obvious with motion control. Da, da, da. Switch will have a touchscreen when not docked. Again, obvious, but yeah, that was right. Mii's will be retained and carried over to the Switch. I have not seen anything showing that, so I may be wrong. You would think that they would carry them over because your Mii is still your icon for your My Nintendo account, as well as they have the mobile game Miitomo. You would think that they'd still be keeping them, but it's almost as if they're trying to get rid of them, and I kind of don't like that idea. Because I kind of think that they could keep Mii's and expand upon them. But I don't know. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, I said up to 8 Switch units could be connected to each other simultaneously. That was one prediction I made, and I was right. But that was a common sense thing when I was just based off of the video around Splatoon, like that portion of the video that they did. Like it just made sense to me that you would be able to connect up to 8 of them and have 2 teams of 4 against each other. That was exactly my thinking when it came up to that. Support for SDXC cards to expand internal storage. That was quite obvious. That was again a very very obvious thing. So it was just like, well, eh. That was like super obvious that. So I think a good portion of details on Super Mario Switch and a possible release window, not as a launch title. Now I knew I was right about that one. That again super obvious, and my guess was that it would be the holiday game that Nintendo's going to put out, and lo and behold, I was right because again that was super obvious. Um, Now, a lot of the stuff that I talked about wanting, there is literally no indication on any of that stuff that it will happen or not. Well, swappable faceplates, no. I know that's not going to happen. Street Pass, I know that's not going to happen. Link play with one copy of the game. Um, I think that's going to be dependent upon the game, but based on the GameSpot interview that Reggie Fils-Aimé had, I think that that's going to be possible. Um, and I said, yeah, I wanted Virtual Console with online and wireless LAN play, which that quite obviously I think is happening. They didn't really explain how the Switch works in off TV as opposed to on a television, but from what I've seen people talking about, at least from Rob of Rule to Review and Robert of Gaming with Me, it seems like it works just as well off the dock as it does on the dock. So I'm not even certain there's anything to be concerned about with that. And most of the games I said I wanted, we have no indication as to whether or not they're going to happen. But I will gladly take Arms in place of Punch Out for now. So that to me, that's not that is definitely a comparable. That is a definitely a great compromise in my book. Um, and they haven't really talked about the ability to link your NNID to multiple Switch units with the Nintendo account. So I'm hoping that it does work that way. They haven't said anything on it, but we still have plenty of time for them to say something about it. Um, I wonder if the way they're going to be able to get gameplay recorded is through GeForce Shadow Play, because it would make sense since it's using that hardware. I kind of wonder. We just have to wait for more information. I just thought about all of this stuff just going forward. I'm like, man, this I know it was I was right about certain particular things, and then there were other things that's just like there's an inkling that that might happen, but there's no confirmation that it will happen, and I'm like, I want to know, I want to hear these things, and this is just simply me using logic and thinking about things that they have done before. So I mean, I, it's not hard to really predict them that well. I mean, granted, I wasn't super accurate, but I was a lot more accurate than uh, several rumors out there. So, I think I'll stick to the way I do things and not worry about rushing to rumors and hugging up to them. And Onuma did say that there's a possibility for another Zelda game on the Switch, but he didn't exactly say that it would be a new Zelda game. He just said that there's a possibility for another one. So that kind of leaves open a possibility for Skyward Sword HD for me. And Reggie kind of hinted at a Metroid game. Didn't say what type of Metroid game. Didn't say if it would be the 2D type or if it would be a Prime type. I mean, I'd be fine with either one, but that again leaves open room for Super Metroid HD. So I maybe some of the stuff that I said I wanted might happen. I have a definite feeling the SNES remix is going to happen. Um, I don't know about Bully 2, but I would love for Rockstar and Nintendo to put that together. I mean, Rockstar to put it together, but like working with Nintendo to do it. Donkey Kong 64 HD or a sequel to it. I still kind of want that as well as like a return of Nintendo Sports with two divisions. Like they have all the tools necessary to do it, and I just want to see them do it. So I'm waiting on that. But I think that's everything. Oh, the ability to gift software to friends digitally. I hope that's a possibility, and I also hope that the music app thing happens because I really want to see that happen. Um, Wii U chat becoming Nintendo or Switch chat being integrated. Well, it's probably going. That I think is going to be integrated into their app, so that's probably there. And solid state drive inside for storage. Nope, that didn't happen. That was something I wanted, but that didn't happen because the way the Switch is designed, there is a physical size of solid state drive that could fit in it. I mean, the way it looks, but I don't know how the chips are set and how the motherboard and all that shit is set up in it, so I can't really say too much. Like, but it's just looking at things. That's how I'm happy with what they did, though. I'm really happy with what they did. But I mean, I just looked at all my list of desires and predictions, and it's just like a lot of stuff happened that I wanted to happen, or a good portion of the things that I predicted did come to fruition or have a possible chance of coming to fruition, as well as quite a few of the things that I wanted. Now, I really, really would love for them to get NVIDIA Tegra Zone integration, because that would give them a whole list of games, and on top of that, would be good for NVIDIA as well as Nintendo. So I just I really hope that at some point they consider that as an option, since they're using NVIDIA's chipsets. Even if it's custom versions, they're using NVIDIA chipsets, so it shouldn't really have much of a problem running everything. But yeah, it's just looking back over this and all the stuff that they said that they were going to have, and I'm just waiting for more information. I just want more information, and we're getting that Fire Emblem direct today. And there's a slight bit of a rumor rolling around that Fates might be coming to the Switch. That would be interesting. That would be interesting, but would it all come together on one singular cartridge as like a whole package? Because I think that, to be fair, that would be the best option, since all that shit's already out now. I mean, yeah, I know there'd be people who have the 3DS version who'd be a little bit pissed, but at the same time, this is a different platform, and on top of that, you're getting the TV integration. So I think that would be something that would be nice to have. But yeah, I think I'm done. I just wanted to do this really quickly because I was happy with that. I was really happy with that, and I mean, granted, the presentation could have been better, especially for some of the translation errors that happened. But things happen. It was a live conference. Oh crap! I had a yawn just hit me out of nowhere. I'm sorry about everybody. Y'all probably yawning too now. Um, Still waiting on hearing about a possible Wonderful 101 2, a possible Nintendo Land 2, possible Punch Out Virtual Console Online has happened. So I'm glad for that. And Reggie kind of hinted at with the Nintendo Network, with like the way they have it set up now, you might be able to carry over your digital purchases. So if that's the case, then I'll have plenty of stuff right off the bat that I can play, and some titles I can play online with other people now, which is awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. But I kind of think, though, that was something that should have happened a while ago. But they found them. Maybe it was just the way their network was set up, and it wasn't gonna work for them the way it was. And now they've figured out a way to make it happen where it won't be a problem. So I'm again happy for that. But that's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, please enjoy your games. Peace out, mofos.